Okay, everyone, we have got to talk about surviving Lilah Gibney. Now, this is absolutely blowing up on social media. It is insane. Oh my God. Okay, where to begin? So, if you do not know who Lilah Gibney is, you may know who Lilah Gibney is from like seeing things in passing, right? This is Lilah Gibney in the middle. You may know Lilah Gibney from if you've ever watched Tana Mojo or Brooke Schofield, the Cancel Podcast. They would reference Lilah a lot, and it would always be like these like shady stories or not the most flattering stories of Lilah. Like Lilah was always, messy or just not a great person, and that was kind of the vibe that we always got from Lilah right here. So, Lilah Gibney is known for a lot of things, first and foremost. Lilah Gibney is ultimately, from my perspective, in what I've heard behind the scenes, is just known as, like, allegedly, like, the ultimate scammer. Like, the ultimate scammer. Like, the influencer scammer, right? Like, that's allegedly what Lilah's kind of known for, and that's the vibe, right? And that's technically what I believe about Lilah, right? And very much so in the influencer scene. You may also know Lilah from one of the biggest scandals of, like, her career, which was that Lilah went to Alex Warren, as in Alex Warren, who, the singer, went to his wedding, and he had a strict rule, him and his wife, which was basically that they didn't want anyone to post about the wedding before they had the chance to do it, which is very, very, very fair. Like, it's very, very, very fair, right? Like, it's very fair. And Lilah ultimately had went to the wedding, filmed a vlog, filmed them at the altar, filmed everything, and posted it, like, basically the night of the wedding, basically spoiling everything and leaking everything, which was the one thing they asked not to do. It blew up into this big scandal. Lilah was around kind of like the Hype House days, like when they were all in that, and then basically became known because she stalked Tana Mojo. This is real. Tana Mojo had posted that she was like at a hookah bar, and Lilah, they openly talk about this, basically went around like hookah bars in like West Hollywood and found Tana Mojo, befriended Tana Mojo, and then Tana Mojo platformed Lilah. Lilah, again, is a big part of the Cancel Podcast, would frequently be a part just for like being the crazy one, and that's how Lilah got a platform of her own. But ultimately, she is known as being like very, very, very untrustworthy and a scammer and just not a good person, right? And social climber, all the rest. Now, there's been stories floating around about Lilah Gibney for a while, and we're going to really dive into those today because there's a new thing going on called Surviving Lilah Gibney. And it was all started by Cole Carrigan, who is also a name that we don't talk about often, but someone that you will probably remember. This is Cole Carrigan. Cole Carrigan is also an untrustworthy narrator. However, in this instance, I do believe him because Lilah Gibney is even more untrusting than an untrustworthy narrative person than Cole Carrigan. Another person that we're not necessarily going to talk about today because I want to get to Cole's one, which was the start of it, is Ava Louise, who, if you do not remember, or if you do not, whatever, was the person who came up with the rumor that Jeffree Star and Kanye West were having an affair. These people are all known for lying for attention, scamming for attention. That is their full thing. Untrustworthy narrator. Yes. The difference is Cole Carrigan did this story time about Lilah Gibney, and the result of this story time is literally everyone in LA coming out of the woodworks to basically say their experiences with Lilah Gibney. So it's kind of to be believed that like this is kind of a trustworthy story here from Cole Carrigan, even though he is a very untrustworthy narrator. But in this instance, he's now started this spiral of people uploading their surviving Lilah Gibney. That is really the rundown. I do want to get to this video. And we have so many that over the course we will get to because everyone is speaking about their experience. But let's get to it. Surviving Lilah Gibney from Cole Carrigan. Did Cole Carrigan say that he slept with Austin McBrim? Did I just make that up? I wish I had a fact checker here like Wendy Williams. Suzanne, did he say that or I think so? Huh. All right, let's get to it.
Advertising story time on how I went to LA last weekend for a concert and stayed with the most psychotic, robotic, out of touch of reality, wannabe celebrity micro influencer Lilah Gibney. To give a little context before I explain this story, I used to live in LA 5 years ago, and this person was like my yin and yang. And then I moved out of LA, got in a really abusive relationship, and unfortunately became addicted to hardcore rugs. I'm now almost 15 months.
Also, rugs is code word for drugs. When I was watching a rundown of this before, they were talking about like rugs and stuff like this, and I thought they were genuinely talking about like carpets. Over here we do say the words. Sorry, like when I watch a video and they're like unalive, I'm like, please just fucking say murder or like suicide or something like that. Like, I'm sorry, like trigger warnings and all like that, but like you're actively like I'm actively like taken away from the story. You know what I mean? We have no censorship over here. When they say rugs, they're talking about drugs. They're talking about coke, molly, probably not ketamine. What other drugs are there?
Into my recovery and sobriety journey, but I have not flown anywhere, traveled anywhere in 5 years. Anyways, I go to a Tate McRae concert while she was in Dallas like 2 weeks ago, and it absolutely blew my mind. Like, I had to go see another show, and I knew she was going to be at the Kia Forum for 2 nights that following weekend. So Lilah had hit me up and was like, oh my gosh, you can stay with me. Like, we should go together. It'll be so much fun. I booked my flight to leave that Wednesday. Then the day before, I found out that my grandpa had like less than a week to live from the doctor saying, and was about to go into hospice. So I obviously was like, I can't go. I canceled my flight. Never lost someone so close to me, and was debating back and forth if I should still go because I had bought in the ticket already. They all told me your grandfather would want you to go. He would want you to have fun. He's still going to be here when you get back.
Not your grandfather would love you to go to the Tate McRae concert. What the hell, sure.
Go do this for him, live in the moment. And I kind of took this as like my last bit of fun before like this wall of grief was going to hit me when I got home. Lilah knew all of this. She knew my anxiety about flying for the first time in 5 years. She knew my anxiety about leaving my family and my grandpa while he's literally going into hospice. She knew I had anxiety about just wanting to like have fun and be in a safe space. Now, this is not my business to tell, but it plays a huge part in the story time, so I will leave as many details out as possible. But she basically, before I flew out, opened up to me about struggling with some issues that I had before. So I kind of knew what I was walking into, that I had to be tough, know that I'm back in LA. I might be surrounded by some things, but I know that I'm strong and I'm good to go.
Okay, good point.
So I had some anxiety about it, but I like let her know that she has my support. I'm here for her, was helping her look up facilities. Right when I got there, she just dragged me along with her. She's like, we're going to go get a facial, then a spray tan after, then this, that, and the third. And I was like,
Bus
down
club,
for the ride,
club.
Just chilling. And we got a facial. She was like, do some promo for them. I did 3 Insta stories like she did as well. I think
another thing Lilah is known for is like allegedly like not paying for things, and instead like the form of payment being like an Insta shout out. Could you imagine how easy life would be if that was the only form of payment that we had to do?
Her after
I would be so embarrassed to offer, like, to say that to someone and be like serious. Hey, I'm not going to pay you, but IG shout out.
Cool massage that she brought me along for. Afterwards, we got a spray tan that I paid the spray tan lady. She did not. This information comes in handy later on in the story. And so we're getting ready. And when we're almost done ready, she starts ripping her apartment apart. And she's like, I can't find my rugs, to the point where she literally looks at me and accuses me of taking it. She's like, you know what? It was in my hand. It doesn't just disappear. I know you took it. I know you have it. I know you took it.
And obviously that's a problem because Cole is, sober and like is not part of that lifestyle anymore. I know, can't find rugs. Like this, just the way these TikTok people have to speak because the TikTok guidelines is so unserious, but I'm trying to like look past it. My shag rug. But anyways, so Lilah, can't find her drugs allegedly, and is insinuating that Cole stole them, and Cole's obviously sober, and obviously tension's high.
Where is it? Give it to me. Literally zero consideration how triggering it might be hearing somebody say, you stole my shit. Where is it? Where is it? Where is it? And I physically could not hear that anymore, to the fact that I was trying to ease her anxiety, and I was like, fuck it. Like, look through my stuff. Like, I'll help you look for it. She had somebody recovering in sobriety looking for her shit for her, so she would stop blaming me. Like, that is so insane. Then she, I guess, finally accepts that it's lost or gone, but is convinced that I still have it. So we're an hour late to dinner. So
God.
as we're pulling up to dinner, she has this photographer come take fake paparazzi photos for her for free. And then when
this like LA lifestyle that these people like try to live up to just sounds so fucking exhausting. Like, really?
You're going in, I'm like, oh, I'll pop in 1 or 2 with you just for the memories, since I flew across the country to see you for the first time in 5 years. And she was like, no, he's gonna charge you. It'll be like $250 for that. So I was like, it's okay, girl. I'll just go get our table, make sure.
The concept of hiring a fucking like paparazzi, fake paparazzi, whatever, and then purposely being like, hey, to your friend, like, if you want a photo, you have to pay me. This is so unserious.
Still have a table, and you go do your thing, and I'll get the drinks. I was at the table by myself for almost an hour. She finally comes up, and she just is pissed. She's like, I don't like your fucking attitude this whole fucking day. You've been so fucking weird. You're so ungrateful. I got you a facial, a spray tan, all this shit for free, and you're so unappreciative. You are bitch.
For free. An IG shout out, by the way.
And complaining just because I need to take my Fashion Nova photos. Honestly, Cole, like, when we get back home, you can get the fuck out. You can pack your shit and get the fuck out. She pretty much left me at the table the whole time. She would go to the bathroom for 30 minutes, and then I'd see on her story she's posting TikToks. Meanwhile, she literally peed in the catch booth. Like,
not a catch. Catch is bougie. Piss on the floor. Oh, I've heard a lot of stories about Lilah just like pissing, like I think it was like Tana Mojo as well have like talked about like Lilah like being in like Sprinter vans during like canceled shows. Maybe I'm making this up, and they like Lilah would like say that she like wanted to piss, and Tana was like, "Are you wearing my like white shorts?" and hand them over, and if you're gonna piss yourself or like shit yourself. There's so many things that are like popping into my memory right now. Crazy.
For 30 minutes, and then I'd see on her story she's posting TikToks.
Yes, there's a clip of her going to the bathroom outside of the van. This is crazy. Yeah, they would mention these stories about Lilah in like a haha goofy way, but it was like crazy. Yeah, Lilah was gonna shit herself, so they just pulled over and she did it on the okay. Like, they would mention these stories like haha Kiki.
Meanwhile, she literally peed in the catch booth like
Not in the catch booth. Wait, just for reference. Let me show you Catch. I think I've only ever been there for drinks, but it's like bougie. Like, look at it. Because I don't like seafood, but it's like bougie. Catch is like bougie. Like, wow, it's so beautiful. Wow.
3 or 4 times, and at the concert in her seats, and in multiple Ubers.
Oh my, okay, the Uber thing, like, people have been saying this about like her just like pissing in Ubers. Pissing at the concert as well. Okay. Here's the thing as well, like, I can understand that like people will have bladder problems. And I can also sympathize with the fact that if someone is like allegedly abusing drugs, you know, that can affect your bladder as well. But the problem is, so many times people in Lilah's life will retell stories of her doing these things and make it a haha kiki moment that I'm like, oh, you guys just aren't taking it seriously then. That makes me lose a lot of respect.
When we were getting ready for dinner, I only brought 2 pairs of shoes. So I was like, can I borrow a pair of shoes? She was like, go look in my closet. Tell me why I go in the closet and I find not 1, but 2 pairs of what I thought was lost Dior Converse shoes. And if you know me, you know I used to have like 15 pairs of those, and my Fendi sunglasses. And she had the audacity to ask me how much I would pay her for the glasses. And when I said no, she...
Oh my God, allegedly stealing his stuff, and then when he asked for it back, she's trying to charge him for it. Whoa. Hey, That's how these influencer people gotta make their money, I guess.
He was like, well,
when they don't have a real job.
You just call all the Uber Black XLs while you're here then? Like, what? Oh, and when we were at the table, while she was continuously cussing me out, she kept saying how ungrateful I am for all the free shit that she got me today and that I should be so thankful to be around her and with her. And of course, she got so fucked up from dinner that we didn't even get to eat. She had to get literally, like, dragged into the Uber, fully unconscious, back to the house. And I guess I'm not kicked out at this point because she fully passed out on the couch. So I just went ahead and went to sleep. And
oh my God, I, like, can't imagine like how exhausting it is being around people like this, specifically if you were a part of that scene and then are no longer wanting to be a part of it. He just wanted to go to Tate McRae.
Honestly, the Tate McRae concert was the only thing like stopping me from literally just getting the fuck out of there right in that moment. Next day,
I don't think this is worth it for a Tate McRae concert, I'm gonna be honest.
The night of the concert, after treating me like absolute shit the whole night before, completely rubs it off. He goes and picks up her friend / hairstylist and makes her discharge her from the hospital because her implants were rejecting and is in so much pain.
God.
Just to come do her hair for the concert for free for a little tag, as if that's going to get her
oh my God, not
business.
an Insta tag again.
On top of that, while we're getting ready, has the audacity to ask me to help film her transition videos for her little TikTok Tate McRae sounds because she knows I'm good at doing those. And I was still nice enough and did it for her. And then while we're still getting ready, she finishes a little bit before me and she's like, oh, I have another photographer that's going to take some pictures of me, so I'm going to go, okay? I didn't even ask, but no regard for me traveling across the country and maybe wanting a couple cute pictures or not, but I didn't even care. I was like, girl, go do your fucking thing. Like, I finished getting ready. I called the Uber to Tao to get drinks before the show. And of course, I was a walking barcode to her, so she starts blowing my phone up when I'm at Tao so we can meet up to get into the concert. Not to mention, she literally pees in her concert seat at the Tate McRae show.
Oh.
And she would constantly, the whole time I was there, talking about, like, how connected she was to, like, every famous person in LA. Like, I would be like, oh, did you hear Cardi B's new song?
Also, there's literally, like, videos of her with Tate McRae this night. Like, she just, like, gets herself in these social circumstances.
And she'd be like, yeah, I was just with her, like, last month in an Uber. And, like, I was just with Justin Bieber last week. I was just with da-da-da-da-da-da-da. Meanwhile, we got denied at 4 after parties after the concert that she was, like, convinced, like, we were getting, like, right in there, Tate McRae after party. And, like, all the bouncers and security people at the door would be like, Lilah, who? Like, you're not on this list. At like 5 a.m., I was starving and needed like a double cheeseburger, triple platinum. And so I called an Uber and dipped out that bitch and just went to her apartment while she stayed up all fucking night. Then at like 8 a.m., she storms in with her friend and they ended up going to like this 5-star luxury spa hotel. So without even asking if I wanted to go. So I was like, yep, that's my time. It's time to book my flight and get the fuck out of here. And I did exactly that. And now I'm traumatized. Always trust your instincts because my gut told me that this probably wasn't a good idea. And my gut was fucking right. But sometimes after 5 years, when you've personally changed so much, you think other people have probably matured and grown as well. Honestly, traumatized.
Okay, wait. Cole posted another video that I want to get to. Wait.
Okay, this is the last thing that I'm going to say about this whole surviving Lilah Gibney trend. I will not be taking an ounce of responsibility of starting this. I put that as my caption as...
Because, again, after Cole posted this, literally there are so many videos now going viral of people saying they're surviving Lilah Gibney. Because, again, Lilah is always in LA, so everyone has stories with her.
Complete satire because I thought I was going to be the only one telling my story of something that happened a literal week ago. I had no clue that so many other people were going to resonate with my video and come out with their own personal stories. That's completely out of my control. I had no idea it was going to blow up. I definitely didn't think it would snowball into an entire trend. I have literally zero control on how...
Imagine being so known in LA that, like, there's an entire, like, genre now on TikTok of people exposing their stories about you and their experiences. Like, imagine having that many bad experiences with people.
Interpret a video that I posted.
This is so LA. Sorry, it's so influencer LA because actual LA is not actually like this.
Even less control of what other people are going to post on their own platforms. But I think it kind of proves my whole point here of that I'm obviously not the issue if so many other people have come forward with their stories.
True.
But it does start to make this whole situation look like a drama starting trend, when the whole purpose of me sharing my story is to just bring awareness about how it is completely
both can be true at the same
and
time.
not funny in any sense of the word for someone who is in...
He's been the issue. Yeah, Cole Carrigan is very unreliable, but in this, I do believe.
Active addiction to treat somebody so poorly.
I also didn't know that he was sober.
In general,
good for him.
Is not a funny drama topic, especially with how poorly somebody might treat someone during active addiction. If anything, I tried to help this girl as much as I possibly could. But once you completely disrespect me and all the hard work that I've put in for the last
Honestly, it was only a matter of time before this would start happening with Lilah. No, that's so true. And everyone behind the scenes is like, yeah, like anyone who's heard stories about Lilah was like, it all has just caught up to her now. Like, she's been doing this for so long, but like it has just like caught up to her now.
18 months to get sober and stay sober by having zero empathy for blaming me for stealing your shit when you were so out of it that you misplaced it. That's where the empathy line is kind of drawn, and I just don't really care anymore. Now, I can only speak for myself when it comes to this. I can't speak for all the hundreds of other people that have come out with stories about her.
And there's so many people.
That kind of behavior. That's why it was disgusting, and I came and told my story about it as soon as I dipped out of there. I just don't want my video of a traumatic experience that happened to me 1 week ago to be misinterpreted and in the same category as people posting videos of some random night in the clubs. And for the many comments that I've seen saying, why didn't you just get up and leave? How long do you guys think I was there for? I wasn't even there for less than 48 hours. I got cussed out the first night, but then they blacked out and fell asleep, so I just went to bed. Then the concert was the next day, which was the only reason I came and was the only reason I was holding on to dealing with this bullshit. And then I booked the first flight out of LA the very next morning. So I definitely did dip the fuck out.
Within 48 hours is crazy.
I had such an opinion about that. Now, this is my last video on this entire situation. It is October, and it is time to start pumping out some iconic Halloween makeup looks.
Okay, Diva. Well, goodness, I didn't think I was going to be talking about Lilah Gibney today, and I also didn't think I'd be talking about Cole Carrigan in the big 2025. But then again, we were talking about TanaCon today, so anything is really possible. We are back in 2018, girl. Oh my god, again, Cole Carrigan is a very unreliable narrator, but in this instance, I think that this is genuinely all of Lilah's actions catching up with her, and I'm excited to jump into the other, like, surviving Lilah Gibney stories, because, again, I've heard so many things behind the scenes, but, like, now people are coming forward with it. But that's the rundown of what's happening right now. This is what started it, and we will dive into the rest of it in the coming days. So with that, we will leave it there.